Hey there everybody, this is Amai and we're going to be doing some vegan baking today. September 22nd was the first day of fall, so we're going to do something a little autumnal with some pumpkin. We're going to be making pumpkin bread. So without further ado, let's get in our kitchen and get started. And this is an easy enough recipe to convert back into normal baking, like just replace everything with the products that you would normally use. So if you're not vegan, you can still use this recipe. The first thing we're going to take care of is greasing up our loaf pan. I'm just using vegetable oil and I'm just going to rub it around. You can use Pam spray if you'd like. I just don't like using Pam spray because of the aerosol inside of the can. But you could do whatever you'd like. But this will just make it easier for us later on when we try to pull the loaf out of the pan. Next, we're just preheating our oven to 350 degrees. The first two ingredients that we take care of need to sit a while, so it's really important that you remember to do them before everything else. But we're using ground flaxseed meal for the egg replacements, but if you're not doing vegan baking, then just 2 eggs. But to make 2 eggs with ground flaxseed, all you need to do is take 2 tablespoons of ground flaxseed meal, 6 tablespoons of boiling water, but that just ends up to be 3 ounces, and that's easier than doing 6 tablespoons of water. And then you just mix those 2 things together, and you let them sit for about 5 to 10 minutes, and they become this slightly slimy, like gelatinous mixture that's kind of resemblant of eggs. But it's really important that you let them sit because it won't have that reaction unless you let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes. And the last ingredient that needs to sit a while is the buttermilk, and this is a neat trick. If you don't have any buttermilk on hand, like if you're not doing vegan baking, all you need to do is do 1 tablespoon of lemon juice or vinegar per cup. So if you're doing 1 cup, then 1 tablespoon. But this is for vegan baking, which is kind of the same thing. I'm just not using milk. I'm just going to be using almond milk. And we need 1/2 cup of buttermilk. So I'm doing 1/2 tablespoon of lemon juice and then 1/2 cup of almond milk. And then when we let it sit, it'll like curdle a little bit and become sour like buttermilk. And now that those 2 ingredients are sitting and getting ready, we're going to get all of the dry ingredients together. And this is going to be 1 cup of flour, 1 cup of brown sugar, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, 1½ teaspoons of cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon salt, 1/4 teaspoon baking soda, 1/4 teaspoon nutmeg, 1/4 teaspoon ginger. I'm using fresh, you can use dry if you'd like, 1/4 teaspoon cloves, and 1/4 teaspoons allspice. And once you have everything measured out, you just mix it together and just set it aside. Next come all the wet ingredients, like our 1 cup of pumpkin, our 2 quote-unquote eggs, our 1/2 cup of quote-unquote buttermilk, and 1/3 cup of vegetable oil. Next thing to do is just mix that all together until it's fully incorporated. The next step is to mix all of the wet ingredients into all of our dry ingredients. And just mix until fully incorporated. To finish off our batter, all we need to do is add 1 more cup of flour and mix until fully incorporated. So now that the batter's finished, we can pour it into our loaf pan. And then what I like to do is flatten it and spread it out so the batter is in the pan evenly. One of the pros of vegan baking is that you can lick the batter off the spoon without being afraid of getting sick from eggs. So, before I put my pumpkin bread in the oven, I like to sprinkle some rolled oats on top. It's purely for aesthetics, like if you don't want to, you don't have to, because otherwise my bread would be a little boring looking, and plus it adds a bit of a crunch, so that's always a plus. So I set my timer for an hour, and about halfway through I rotate it. And then I just wait till time's up. So now that the timer's going off, we just take it out of the oven, and now we have to be patient and wait for it to cool. Once the loaf is completely chilled, it'll be really easy to just pop out of the pan. We can put it on a platter and we're gonna get ready to slice it up. This part is completely optional, it's just that I like to have my pumpkin bread a little bit sweeter. So I'm going to be making a simple icing with just powdered sugar and milk. I don't really have any measurements for you, it's really just done by eye, but just add a little bit of milk until you get the desired consistency you want, just enough to like fall off the spoon so you can drizzle it. So if you decided to make the icing, this would be the time when you would drizzle it, but then you should wait maybe 5 minutes so the icing gets hard and kind of crunchy so your hands don't get sticky when you try to cut into it. So there you have it, vegan pumpkin bread. Let's take a taste and see how it is. It's seasoned really nicely and it's very moist. Sorry if you hate that word, but that's how you describe it. It's moist. But the true test is to see how it goes with a cup of tea. So good. It's gonna be my breakfast for a while. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Try the recipe out real soon. I hope you guys had a really great day, and see you guys next time in whatever video I make. Have an awesome day. Thank you and goodbye.